on, son.
Raphael's on the track.
Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. What up, everybody? This is Ed Lover. Come on, son. It's Come On, Son, the podcast overseen by Combat Jack. We have a very special podcast that I'm doing right now, and I hope y'all really enjoy this podcast. This podcast is all about the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge. You may be saying to yourself, Ed Lover, what is the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge? Well, I'll tell you, I went to California, and I podcasted from California with a lot of great people that I will absolutely love to introduce you to, and I will during this podcast. But let me break it down for you. The Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge pits a group of celebrities against each other on a racetrack, and not any racetrack, but one of the most famous racetracks in the world in California, and I was out there, had a good time. Now, this ain't a quick drag race, if you think it is. It's not just that everybody get in a car and fly out. No. Even though it's called the 0 to 60 Challenge, okay? The drivers have to negotiate a lot of different turns. They have to know how to do a draft, many tricky elevation changes as they race to see who has the best time in each event and then the best time overall. Now, the celebrity that comes out with the best time overall gets a Lexus for a year. And what they're racing in and driving is some of the fastest Lexus-made cars on the planet Earth. And not only that, but they're being coached by real, authentic race car drivers, some that you're going to hear from today. Now, some of these celebrities are actors. Some of these celebrities are former professional athletes themselves. Some of these people that I had an opportunity to talk to are actually professional motorcycle drivers, which is really different from being a professional race car driver. So I want y'all to enjoy this podcast. It is the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge is hosted by none other than my man Big Tigga. Y'all know Big Tigga from, of course, Rap City The Basement, and now syndicated all over the country. And now he's doing mornings at V103 here in Atlanta. And we got a chance to hang out for 2 days, and I had an opportunity to witness a lot of what was going on in the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge, and I had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people involved with it, some of the drivers, some of the celebrities. I got an opportunity to chop it up with Tigga. It's an amazing, amazing challenge. And when it comes on TV, I suggest that you all watch the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge. Go to your local TV guide and see, we don't have a TV guide that we open up anymore, but, go onto your TV. There's a guide on there. It's still a TV guide on your cable. Your cable has a guide, and figure out when the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge is coming on, and make sure that you watch it, because I had a lot of fun in California. I had a lot of fun doing this podcast. I had a whole lot of fun, and now I present to you the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge. Come on, son. It's Come On, Son, the podcast, the official podcast of Lexus 0 to 60, and I am sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, with a badass. That's what I've been told. She's a badass. Nicole Lyons here. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm good.
I heard that you're a badass. I heard that you are the epitome of speed.
I think, you know what, I should have been Letty. I think I should have had that movie role, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna let her run with that.
How did you get into racing?
I was an only child. My dad was a race car driver, engine builder, muscle car builder. I traveled all over the United States. He was we don't like to promote street racing, but he was a famed street racer out of Los Angeles.
Okay, so that was your introduction to it?
It was.
For a young lady, you wouldn't think that a lot of young ladies get bit by the need for speed.
I just had a dope dad. I mean, really, seriously, props to my dad. He was hardcore with it and made sure that I had something different to look forward to or to be into than just the standard stuff girls did, like play with Barbies and stuff.
So he didn't really limit you as far as you being a female?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, like I said, I had the Barbie dolls, except, Ken couldn't drive.
Barbie had to drive.
Barbie had to drive.
When do you remember your first time behind the wheel of a car?
You know what? I've been, well, technically car, like in terms of cars that we drive on the street and stuff like that, 15. But in terms of racing, I've been, I did go-karts and all that kind of stuff prior.
When I pulled into this track, I saw that another half of the track had go-kart racing.
Right.
How fast do the average go-kart go when you go-kart race?
It just depends. Like if you have a shifter cart or, you're starting out, you can get up to speeds, up to 100 miles an hour on a cart if depending on how fast your shifter cart is.
Uh-huh.
So.
That didn't scare you at all?
No. Unfortunately, it didn't.
So then, obviously, when your dad was street racing, obviously there was a lot of times you were sitting right there next to him in the passenger seat.
Yeah, collecting money too. Absolutely.
What kind of cars were your father? Was he building them himself? Mustangs? What was he driving? Mopars?
We were big into Chevys at that time. So, he had everything from 66 Chevelles to 69 Chevelles to Camaros to all of that. And, they were, I want to say, if you looked at super comp racing, they were like super comp cars. So 8 seconds and like in the quarter mile, he'd put them out on the street.
That's the kind of racing they used to do in Brooklyn when I was coming up.
Yeah, Brooklyn had some.
My boy had a 69 Chevy Camaro that.
Yes.
Some cats had put nitrous on those cars.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, come on, this is street racing.
No, it's racing. We racing for money. So, I mean, you're going to ump the ante a lot when it comes to it, for sure.
When did the transition happen for you to track cars?
Around 15 is when I started kind of acclimating myself more to track cars and building cars with my dad, and just kind of wanting to go to the NHRA is what I really wanted to do at that time. And now I'm kind of shifted my stuff over to grudge racing and more of a focus with that.
On drag racing?
Yeah, it's drag racing, but it's grudge racing.
What's the difference?
It's just high stakes racing. You pull up to the track, you bet another individual there for whatever it may be, 25, 50, 100 grand, and you race one time and you pack up and go.
Oh, wow. All or nothing, huh?
Yeah, that's what I like now.
You ever race for pink slips?
Yes, multiple times.
Ever lose?
No, thankfully. I don't know if I could have let that one go.
Is it allowed to look at the other person's car? Like, do you get to examine the other person's car? Or is it just like, listen, that I have right there is faster than that you have right there?
It's all in negotiation. So you got to negotiate when you get there. It's about negotiating, figuring out, what the rules and stipulations are going to be. So some people will say, hey, that's fine, go ahead and look. And some people are going to be like, no, this is normally when you come to a grudge race, you've already decided terms before you get there.
Okay.
So it's not like you're just sitting there doing that. Now, a street race, that's when sometimes negotiations like what you're talking about, looking under the hood or seeing, will happen more so.
How much of it is the car and how much is the driver? I always wanted to know that.
Ooh, a lot is the car. I'm going to tell you that right now. I would say about 60% is the car, and about 40% is the driver.
Do you really have to have like this passion? Like most drivers that I've talked to today and at other times have always told me they feel like they were born to do this. Like, this is what I love. This is what I do. I'm a driver. That's it.
I think it's true. If you go to the track, you'll see that most of everybody has their family there with them. I feel like I was born into racing as well. And I think most individuals, that's the way they come up. Not to say that's for everybody, but I think that's typical. Like when you travel with your family and you're out at the racetrack, you just get a bug for it as a kid.
What do you think about this Lexus 0 to 60 challenge?
Oh my gosh, I love Lexus and 0 to 60. I was on one of the first ones with John Sally. And,
Did you win?
No, actually Sally won.
How you let John Sally beat you?
Oh my gosh, we were doing. Well, first of all, we weren't drag racing.
Okay.
But
Difference.
we were doing all types of other stuff on the track. But Sally, actually, don't get Sally twisted. Sally might crack a few heads out there on the street. He's pretty good.
John Sally has been a good friend of mine for a very, very long time. Big up to you, John Sally.
Yes.
The inaugural winner, right, of the Lexus 0
yes,
to 60 challenge.
Absolutely.
Been my guy for a long time, from way before the Detroit Pistons, and still really, really cool whenever I see him. So why you not participating this year? I'd like to see you out there on the track.
You have to pass the torch. I feel like there's things, we have other individuals that are influencers and, movements and things going on. And I feel like me being here is enough to even, represent. And obviously they show love and I show love back. So, it's all about seeing other individuals get the opportunity to get in one of these cars, because they are phenomenal.
They are badass.
And they would be pretty dumb to have the same individuals over and over and over again in them, because
especially you.
You want to sell them, right?
Right. Because don't let you learn that car, because if you learn that car, it's over with.
So I'm happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you. Thank you for spending some time with me today. And best
thank
of luck to you
very much.
Keep on doing your thing.
Appreciate
it's the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge. Ahmed Lover is Come On Son, the podcast, the official podcast of the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge. Come on, son. It's the Lexus 0 to 60 event. Ed Lover's Come On Son, the podcast, the official podcast of Lexus 0 to 60. And I got Mr. T. Bell with me. How are you, sir?
I'm real good.
How are you enjoying this Lexus 0 to 60 event?
It's fun. It's my first time on the show. I've certainly watched it with envy for several years, but one thing's for sure, the moment I arrived here, this was a lot more about fun than it was driving from the outset, and they're for sure having fun driving the cars, but everybody has a blast doing
Are you an official Lexus driver?
I am. I race for Lexus in the RCF GT3 and the IMSA series, so professional sports car racing.
For everyone that's listening to this podcast and don't know what that series is that you just said, please let them know exactly what it is.
It's owned by NASCAR.
Okay.
So this is sports car racing. What that means is Lexus is competing against Mercedes, BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, all in the same race. And it's endurance racing, meaning our races are generally a little bit longer. Our longest race is 24 hours.
Wow.
So that's me and 3 teammates taking turns every 2 to 3 hours for 24 hours straight.
How do you sleep? Do you sleep between that, or is your adrenaline going so fast and so hard that you're not able to rest?
It's a great question, because physically you're exhausted. Mentally, though, your mind's still going a million miles an hour when you're not driving. So it's really hard to get some sleep. I've done it now for several years, so I'm getting a little bit better. I'll tell you, earplugs and a quiet environment is best, but it's hard to find a quiet environment at the racetrack.
How do you get your adrenaline going at a racetrack like that? Because for us drivers, just car drivers, if we get on a track and we see an opening and we're going to take it and we're going to get up to 85, 90, maybe 100, we turn that music all the way up. There's no radio in a car like that.
There's no radio. You know, racing has a crazy way of getting you automatically jacked up and fully attentive. I always equate it to you ever picked up a cat and kind of given a little toss?
Yeah.
I mean, gentle toss. We're not
Gentle
talking
toss.
like, abusive cat toss here.
Right.
But you throw a cat up in the air a couple feet off the ground, and the way it lands and that natural instinct of the cat to sort of be alert and land on all fours, that automatically happens when you get in a race car, because it's high speed. It's high consequence if you get it wrong, and so your body and your mind automatically triggers to go for it.
And there's a lot of other cars around you, and your objective is to beat those other cars.
That's right.
So if somebody gets up on you and you're in second or third and then they pass you by, you got to be like, hell no.
That's right. That's right.
No, I'm getting around this guy no matter what the consequences are.
Plus, you got very expensive cars that you're driving, and they don't work very well when they have contact with each other. So they're very aerodynamically dependent. They're fast, they're fierce, but they also have some vulnerability. So you've got to figure out how to compete as aggressively as possible, at the same time protect your equipment.
Wow. What is your favorite Lexus to drive?
I'd say the RCF. That's my daily driver. It's 472 horsepower. It'll throw a sick drift. I mean, it's a great drifting car. The thing I love about it, though, it is so comfortable. It's one of the things Lexus is really known for. You get into your Lexus, whether it's a high-performance RCF or an ES or an LS, there's just that exhale feeling when you get into one of these things. They're beautiful inside. The seats, I think, are the best in the industry. The cabin is quiet, even if it's high performance. It's just such a relaxing drive from a daily driver standpoint, and then you come to the track, it's ready to go.
Thank you, Towns. I appreciate your time today.
All right, bud. Good to meet you.
My guy. Y'all heard it right here. This is the Lexus 0 to 60 Challenge. If you don't own a Lexus, you should go out and get yourself a Lexus, man. Out here at this track, watching these professional drivers drive these cars and watching the celebrities drive these cars, man, it's really got my mind going. I'm going to have to talk to somebody about getting me one of these Lexuses. I'm not even going to lie. And he's right. I got on the track yesterday with Scott Pruitt, who's one of the drivers who I'm going to talk to in a minute. And he took me around the track, and we hit 154 miles an hour. That's the fastest I've ever been in a car. And we did one lap, and he took me around at 154 miles an hour. And the way this car hugged the track, the way it performed, how quiet it was, how comfortable the ride was pretty freaking amazing to me. I mean, absolutely amazing. It was something unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my life, and I was very happy to do it. And I have another professional race car driver about to join me right now. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is. I'm lost track of time. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Pleasure. I'm Jack Hawksworth. I'm the driver of the number 14 AIM Vasta Sullivan Lexus RCF GT3 in the IMSA WeatherTech series.
So you drive Lexus all the time?
I drive Lexus all the time, yeah.
In your personal life as well?
In my personal life as well. At the minute, I've got the LS in the US, and in England, I've got an RC300 hybrid.
Nice. What made you decide to become a professional race car driver? 'Cause that's dangerous, man.
I mean, I always grew up around motorbikes, and I had like dirt bikes and stuff when I was younger. My dad was always into bike racing, and motorcycles and stuff. So I was always kind of, I guess, opened up to that world, if you will. And then once I was 12 years old, I managed to persuade him to let me get in a go-kart for the first time. And once I did that, I knew this is what I want to do. Just became very addicted to it, addicted to kind of the, pursuit of getting faster, getting better. And yeah, it just stuck with me and managed to kind of just climb my way up the ranks.
And how did you become involved with Lexus? Of all the different car companies and that you could have got into, why Lexus?
So at the end of 2016, it was the final year I'd raced in IndyCar, and I was looking for a new challenge. And there was a team who I was very familiar with. I'd done some races for them in sports cars previous, and they were the ones who were running the Lexus RCF GT3s when it first appeared in the US. And I loved the car. I immediately enjoyed working with the people who were involved with the program, and it was a no-brainer really, and that's when I joined, and I guess became part of the Lexus family, the Toyota family, and been with them ever since.
It's the fastest you've ever been in a Lexus?
Yeah, fastest I've ever been in a Lexus would probably be close to 190 mile an hour at Daytona.
Ooh, because Scott took me out yesterday on the track. I did 154. I haven't been at 190 yet.
Yeah, 190 speed as well. Like the when you start getting to those really high speeds, like 190, and then IndyCar they do 220, 230. Yeah,
you've done 230 in the IndyCar?
Yeah, I did. I averaged in qualifying for the 2014 Indy 500 231 mile an hour, I think.
Ooh.
That's average speed. So
that's
like
the average speed.
237, 238, maybe even 240.
Is the Indy is it as scary as it looks?
It's not when
not for you.
No, I mean when you're doing it, you're so focused on the the performance, right, and doing as well as you can, just as you would in any other sport. But it is dangerous. You're going at those speeds. When you're doing 230 mile an hour, if you crash, even though the cars are very safe and the tracks are as safe as they possibly can be, it's hard to, the amount of energy that is dispersed when you have an incident at that speed is
right.
It's hard. It can never be completely safe.
Absolutely. So, folks out there listening, if you don't know what you're doing, don't try this at home. Thank you, sir.
Cheers, buddy.
This is the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge right now. Scott Pruitt is drifting. If you can hear it, listen.
Fuck up all these cones. Every one of these cones. Boy, ain't no way in hell.
I appreciate the opportunity. I'm heavily playing for you.
What is crazy?
All I know is I got a chance today. Y'all gonna hit some cones today.
Yours
don't look like that.
Oh, man.
That right there.
And he did that without the water.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey.
On a dry track. So you guys will get water track now.
Come on, first my shit gonna have to be just wet. Like mine can't be damp. My shit gotta be. I'm talking about like the old school Hot Boys when they did the block. No, not the block is hot. What is the damn? Get your roll on, yeah, man. My shit gonna have to be like that. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like that, man. And I'm gonna still need the coaching.
That's how that track looked, man. Y'all heard that drift. And
Man,
these celebrities ain't too super happy about it.
ain't no way in hell.
It's easy.
Hey, not only am I gonna hit the cones, I'm gonna hit the sticks in the middle with the flag. What?
So we are gonna. So the one thing we are gonna do is we're gonna make it a little easier. We're gonna water it down, so the car's gonna be able to drift easier.
Man, okay.
The other part is don't be afraid of the throttle. Go ahead and be aggressive with the throttle.
But
That's what
we
gets the car
are
around.
though. Like every one of us afraid of the throttle.
But if you get in there and
That's what I'm saying.
well, I do it every morning on the way to work.
That's what I'm saying. Like right there, what you just showed us, we just lost control and we trying to hang on for dear life.
So like I said, this will be the most difficult exercise event that you guys do. But it'll be a lot of fun. There's not really much to hit out there. It's all about having fun, sliding around, and
Man,
Duke's a hazard.
yeah.
Scott, he said it's not practical. Explain how it is practical.
Well, the thing that you're going to get the feel for, most people never get that sense until it's too late about what the car feels like going sideways. Most of the time, you're going to react to that in a bad way, just hitting the brakes, not turning into it, and unfortunately getting off, especially as rain comes in California the first time, the roads are incredibly slippery.
Right.
So you coming on an on-ramp or getting off an off-ramp, it's easy to spin the car out. This will give you the sense how to turn the wheel into it, and then be able to be in control instead of out of control.
That's what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Now
Gotcha.
this is extreme.
Yeah, we know. I thought you was gonna do something. I didn't know you was gonna Tokyo drift us out there.
That's right.
I didn't know that. Like okay. I
But
see
you'll
what
get to do it too.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
Well, you got some good coaches, so they'll show you the ropes.
I don't
We
think
got
this.
practice runs like we did
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm
And
gonna
I'll
tell
be
you.
out there, all the coachy guys as well, if I can fill in at all, and
Yeah, you can fill in. You can get in the driver's seat.
Yeah. That's where you can fill in at. Like, yeah, you can do the run for me.
okay.
Well, I'm just letting you know on the football field, when you said we'll have great coaches, you can have great coaches and still lose a football game. So I don't know.
Saying you gonna lose.
I ain't saying I'm gonna lose.
You already claiming it.
I ain't claiming.
You-
I'm,
you're-
first of all, I'm
easy
going
money.
against you, dog.
That's
Light
easy
skin,
money.
you ain't. I'm
He's
telling you.
backing up way too
Money,
far
that's what
right
we do.
Right now,
You're backing up
look,
way too much.
I'm not backing up too much. I'm really trying to be humble, but y'all not gonna allow me to do that. Like I don't really want to show y'all what I really want to say. But I'm just letting you know right now. I don't know how far I'm gonna finish in this because the competition y'all put me against is not much. So with that being said,
Shots fired.
Townsend?
Dumb, I love you to death, bro. But you light skinned, and we know
Yo,
that.
you can move on the turf, but you can't move out there in the
Let me get
streets.
you guys. Let me get trainers and contestants out here.
We on our way. We on our way. Watch
Safety
this.
meeting here.
Watch this. Let's go.
Y'all got exclusive behind the scenes chatter. That was Scott Pruitt, one of the drivers out there, telling them how to drift these cars.
Luciano.
I'm gonna shoot a little video so you can see how this works. This is going to be extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. Thank God that we're on a track where there's nothing for them to hit. Because I'm getting out the way. Because I don't know how much drifting they're going to do. They drifted to this gate. That's all she wrote for me. So I'm backing all the way back, y'all. This is to me is going to be the most interesting part of the Lexus 0 to 60. They have to drift these things, just like in the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. The way they was drifting those cars, they're going to wet the track so they can drift. And the person with the fastest time and the most accurate time on drifting these cars are going to get points and possibly walk away with a free Toyota for a year. This is the part of the competition that honestly I wish I was in because I drive in the snow in New York a lot of my life, and I know how to catch a car when it's spinning out of control. A lot of these dudes grew up in a warm environment. They don't know snow. They don't know ice. They don't know when to burn out and spinning out. I've known this my whole entire life. This is the only part of the competition I wish I was a part of because I know how to handle a car when it's about to spin out. And the speed on this is going to be crazy. So this is going to be absolutely exciting. This is going to be fun. This is going to be competitive. Thank God Tigga ain't doing it because he ain't going to kill me and everybody else sitting here. Right? Tigga can't drive normally. So driving a high-performance Lexus, that's why he the host, and that's why I'm the podcaster because me and Tigga would tear some damn cars up out here. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. We would not be invited back. I would run into something. So, folks, stay tuned, man. We got more of the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge coming up, and this has been one hell of a blast, believe me. Lexus 0 to 60. Come on, son. Hey, y'all. This is Ed Lover again. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed that immensely. The Lexus 0 to 60 challenge is going to be on the television near you real soon, hosted by the one and only legendary Big Tigga. So y'all make sure that y'all check that out, okay? Make sure that you go and check it out. And maybe even next year, I'm hoping and praying that they will allow me to race in the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge. I think I do a pretty good job. I did have an opportunity to go around the racetrack with one of the drivers. We hit a speed of over 120 miles an hour. That's the first time I've ever been in a professional race car going that fast. And woo, baby, when we hit that bank of turns, I was like, ah! Glad I had this helmet on because I was scared to death. And the acceleration and the brake was on the steering wheel. It wasn't even on the floor. So I'm talking about real race car, man. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Make sure that you check it out. You know, make sure that you check out some of the new Lexuses that are out because they got some badass, fast-ass cars out there, man. For real. I used to have a Lexus back in the days, and when I tell you Lexus done really stepped their game up, they got some badass cars out there. So if your need is speed, make sure that you check out Lexus, man. Thanks for listening in. I appreciate you. Thanks to Lexus, and thanks to everybody that participated in the Lexus 0 to 60 challenge. My name is Ed Lover. Until next time, come on, son. I approve that message. Come on, son. This episode of Come On, Son, the podcast is being brought to you by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. No, I'm only playing. Nah. Y'all keep going first. Everything else will fall into place. We'll talk at y'all next week, man. Y'all know what it is. Come on, son.
This episode of Come On, Son, the podcast is produced and engineered by co-executive producers Krista Hayes and Kimana Paulus in downtown Chicago. This is an official Loudspeakers Network podcast.